Are we doing YouTube tonight or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we know how many people are tuning in? Or I think we talked about that the other week. I can't. Not information we have access to.
We had 12 viewers the last time.
Yeah.
We can check that as while we're doing it. Yep.
We're good to go, Terrence. So you can start anytime now.
Okay, well, we'll call to order, and it is 7:04. And as I said earlier, I'd like to welcome Ellen Whalen from the Huron County Board. She has joined our library as our interim CEO for the next year, and we look forward to everything she brings with her to the North Perth Library System. So Ellen, welcome. It's your first opportunity to be part of a board meeting and a chance to get to meet us all. So I'll first introduce myself. I'm Terrence Ritchie. I'm presently the chair, and then I'll turn it over to John and we'll pass it down so you get a chance to meet everyone, and then we'll give you a moment. So.
Hi again, Ellen.
Our two council reps are here as well tonight. Now I'll ask Matt to introduce himself first, and I think
Hello, Ellen, and welcome to North Perth. We spoke briefly on the phone, so I'd just like to welcome you, and I've heard nothing but glowing reviews so far, so everything's going to be go swimmingly well. So thank you so much for attending our meeting this evening, and I'm sure we'll be in touch. So thank you so much, and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. And our other council rep is Leanne.
Hi, Ellen. My name's Leanne Andreessen, and I also am a council rep. And yeah, just welcome to North Perth. I think you're going to love this area, and this position will give you a great opportunity for leadership. So I hope you're excited, and we hope that you learn a lot, but just appreciate and enjoy the position. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. We have three other members of our board. And, first is Bernice.
Hi, sorry, rural internet, so I'll maybe hop on with visuals periodically, but right now it's not too good. Welcome, looking forward to working with you, and I've been on the library board for quite a while, and I love what we're able to do in the community.
Thank you, Bernice. Our next one is our Souls rep, and also is our Friends of the Library coordinator, and that is Becky.
I actually just forgot my Souls rep, and I was thinking, what's he talking about? Sorry. Just add that to the list of things. Hi, Ellen. Nice to meet you. Good luck here. Look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
And the last member of our board team is Mrs. Lynch. She is here tonight?
She gave a wave.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Well, Ellen, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'll give you a moment if you'd like to say anything to the crew of us before we begin.
Sure. I just want to thank you, Mr. Chair, and all of the library board members for having me. It's been a great 4 weeks so far, so I hope that continues. I'm really delighted and privileged to be able to serve the North Perth library communities in this way, and I really hope I can do you guys justice this year.
Well, thank you. I'm sorry, I just lost you for a moment. I don't know if that happened for everybody.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I do.
That's good.
Again, thank you for sharing that with us. We have a couple things to go over just before we begin tonight. A reminder to all the board members, if you're unable to attend a meeting, in the past you've either contacted our former CEO or myself, and I'm just reminding you, if you are unable to attend, please let Ellen know or myself, just for the sake of the meeting, so we know if we have quorum or not. Let's move on. let's have a look at our agenda. I know you all received your package, and we need to go through and we have to approve and look at if there's any additions to our agenda. So if you've had a chance to peruse it from the last, from tonight, is there any changes or additions you'd like to add to it?
Hi, Bernice here.
Yes, Bernice.
I would like to discuss the possibility of having a special library board representative on the committee for the hub, so that there could be a direct link that way.
That's fine. We have it. It's under 10.1. We've added it on, so it's right there.
Oh, sorry, my apologies. I did look at obviously I didn't look carefully enough, so thanks.
Any other?
Yes, Terrence. And I'm going to be putting Matt on the spot. We kind of we briefly talked about this, but just getting an update about the kind of the physical issues with our libraries and the repair that needs to be done. I know that Matt had been doing some background work on it, so maybe Matt could give us an update. Sorry, Matt, I'm putting you on the spot.
We were going to do that. We've discussed, Ellen and I discussed all these topics before. We were going to put it under business arising from the previous minutes, number 5. And I had Matt scheduled for that period right there. Is that okay?
Yep, that's great. Thanks, you.
Okay. Any other changes or additions people wish to make? Okay, we need a motion to move forward with our agenda. Do I have somebody?
I'll make that.
Thank you. Seconded by Matt.
Okay.
Moving on. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Matt. Oh, approval. Yes, I forgot.
All those in favor?
Everybody in favor? Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about that. My apologies. And now number 3, any declarations of pecuniary interest or conflicts of interest? Okay. Fine, let's move forward. The approval from the previous minutes. You have 2 approvals there. I met with met with Sarah or talked with Sarah earlier today. We're going to place one of them on hold. It's asking for the approval of the minutes from the April 16th meeting, which was an in-camera meeting. I asked her for clarification on that because none of you were not able to see the minutes because we're working virtually. Sarah received clarification from the town. What will happen with all our in-camera minutes during our first meeting where we come back together, we'll approve all those minutes because you have not been able to read the minutes. You can't approve them and we cannot send them to you through email because of confidentiality. So those minutes are at the moment frozen till we can come back together, and those minutes will be released to you. You'll have an opportunity to review them from that period of time, and then we'll vote on them. I know Sarah is on. Sarah, did you wish to add anything to that?
That's everything that Pat mentioned. So you can still approve the minutes from March 16th, just the simple calling the meeting to order. I think it was only a page long, so you can still approve that. But
so we can approve the, I guess, basically the meeting, but not the contents of the meeting. Is that correct? Okay, from what I understand, and when we do the approval, we can do it as one approval for both the March 9th minutes and the minutes from the 16th. So at this point, we need to approve those minutes. Would somebody like to pass a motion to approve those minutes? Thank you, Leanne. Seconder, please. Thank you. Excuse me, I'm sorry about my phone ringing. All those in support of the minutes? Approve. Okay, thank you. So we will have another occasion when the minutes will actually be disclosed to you so you can read the contents of those minutes, and we'll approve them a second time from what I read from the information that was sent to me today. Business arising from the minutes, Ron, number 5. During the last meeting, we had a discussion about the building and the masonry work, and Matt said he was going to do some investigation. So at this point, I'll turn it over to you, Matt.
Thank you. Through you, Terrence. I did have conversations with. Oh. My apologies. I did have conversations as a result of our last meeting with a local contractor, only for the sake of seeking possibly a determination of the status of the masonry work. Sorry, my cat's in the way here. He's walking through camera. And it was decided that, and because it was a public document, I did provide him with the Alan Avis report on the condition of the building. I won't mention it in open session, and he has had some discussions with his subcontractor that it would be something that there is a possibility that he could do this year. However, that was several weeks ago, and as we all know with construction trades, that they do get very busy. There is an opportunity. At that point in time, I put the ball in Chris's court. Ellen hadn't joined us yet. Basically, I just wanted to basically say we have this level of interest.
Can't hear you, Matt. Sorry.
Yeah, something's cut out.
Sorry. My cat stepped on my mute button, so I apologize. I apologize for that. And he did make mention that there was a possibility that it could be completed this year. However, I also wanted to engage Chris because it could involve proper procurement. So Chris was going to, said he was, if he had time last week, to possibly discuss it with Ellen to say whether this would fall under our procurement procedures. I didn't want to become too involved with a local contractor that I happen to know, but I also made mention that if there needs to go out to tender to a local quote, that it's something that he could do. Now, one of the discussions that I did have with the this contractor was immediate remediation to the building to possibly stave off any further decline in the building. It wasn't necessarily a full repair, especially to the Carnegie front portion of the building. There are some small fixes that could be done to the front to stop water from leaking in, but it wouldn't be like repointing of all that special brick that they have. And he did provide some preliminary, only arbitrary numbers about the outside masonry work, of which I can provide at a later date. But basically the ball is in Chris's court to reach out to him, that if it needs to go out to tender, because it would be above our procurement levels for the municipality, but it would be less than the Alan Avis report. However, dollars and cents matter as far as procurement with a contractor goes, so I don't know if Ellen has had an opportunity to speak with Chris involving this, that maybe she could possibly assist me in going with this. I don't know.
Ellen, did you have anything?
Yep. Sure. Chris did, they did hire their new facilities manager at the municipality as well. He started last week on Monday. And since he started, I know Chris has taken him around the building and shown him the physical pieces of it. I wasn't in the office at that time, but the three of us did meet yesterday to talk about it as well. And it does look like the new facilities manager is going to look into pursuing that tender for at least for the extension piece.
Thank you. Any questions for Matt or Chris? I'm sorry, Matt or Ellen? Leanne?
Yes, thank you, Terrence. Thank you, Terrence, and thank you, Matt and Ellen. I appreciate that. Through you, Terrence, I'm thinking that the new facilities manager will likely head this up. That's pretty much what you were saying, Ellen, that's what you're feeling confident about, that Jeff would be doing that?
Yeah, Jeff's taken a pretty proactive approach to a lot of the facilities, and he looks like he's going to be the lead on that.
That's awesome. Thank you.
It'll be nice to see something happen. It's been, what, 2 or 3 years now we've been talking about it. So thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Matt, for that information. Number 6, please take a
Actually,
moment.
Terrence, I do apologize for, I do believe
Sorry.
Bernice had a question.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bernice. I apologize. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. I just wanted to reiterate that Leanne has been saying it consistently, and I agree. We've been talking about this technically 2 or 3 years, but we've been talking about it actually since I've been on the board, and I've been on the board probably over 10 years now. And once things start opening up, we all know that there's going to be money issues everywhere. I can't emphasize enough the advocacy that we are going to require to actually get progress happening. And that is possibly much as my issue, that maybe I should have pushed or be more assertive during my previous time as a board member. But this is not a to-do project. This is critical. We're crumbling. So if we have to lobby as much as we can to get this actually done within a reasonable timetable.
Go ahead, Matt.
In discussions with the contractor, it was also made mention that he alone, or if it goes to tender, and he's totally fine with it if it needs to go to tender again, but he said he would have the, like I said several weeks ago, that he said there might be the opportunity to at least do some of that remedial repair work on the new part of the building still this year. So that's where I put it into Chris's court, and that's where the ball in Chris's court, and also the caveat with Mr. Newell coming on, the new facilities manager, and to get him up to speed. And he's only been started a week, so that has pushed the pause button for a little bit. But I will certainly be following up again as much as I feel comfortable doing so. And then the rest of the information should be coming from Ellen now that it's in the hands of procurement, and hopefully that they can reach out to the contractor and or another viable source in order to provide some documentation to them that they can, hopefully we can get this ball rolling again and at least fix the stop gaps from where, to fix it from degrading any further than what it currently is. So I just wanted to provide that update. If there's any other information that I happen to get, I will certainly share it with the board, but it was limited to strictly a friendly conversation because I'll be open and transparent that I do know him, but then I had put the ball in with our procurement officer and our CAO at the time. But I wanted them to sort of pick up the ball and run with that, saying that this option at least existed. So thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Lovely cat. Any other comments about the masonry work at this point? Let's hope if we continue to remind them, and we have Ellen there reminding them, maybe we'll be able to get them to do some work on this. I had talked to Matt there a couple weeks ago. I had a look at it, and I took somebody with me, and we were talking about how if masonry is not an option, how they have cladded the building from top to bottom in some areas with the metal siding. Maybe the option would be would actually be to remove the masonry from the one side and replace it with the similar type of cladding that's on there. But I'm sure the experts likely know far better. So, but it's nice to see that we're getting somebody to pay attention to it, at least right now.
Terrence, if you could put that on the agenda for the next meeting, so that
Sure.
we continue to keep this top of mind, because I will not rest until we start to get some action on that. And I'll be honest, I'm really thinking that we can probably somehow get some work done on it, and I think we have to really continue to push hard. So, and that it'll be a hard year to do that, given the fact that contractors can't even take on new jobs, I don't think, given our current restrictions, but hopefully we'll see some progress. Thanks.
Well, we'll make sure it stays on the agenda. Ellen and I meet regularly and have discussions, so we'll try to make sure any new information we get is added to the agenda as well. So we'll keep everybody as updated as possible on the masonry repairs. Let's move on to the next one, the financial report. It's a financial report. The invoices are dated from January 1st until April. If you've had a chance to review them, if you have any questions, Ellen and I have talked about it, but if you have any questions in regard to it, we'll try to provide some clarity. So anything in regards to our invoices. Okay. I had no great questions. It seems regular as usual. We'll need a motion to approve the expenditures. So would somebody like to pass, would somebody like to move that we, thank you. Who was, I'm sorry, I can't see you.
That was Becky.
Thank you, Becky. We need a seconder.
I'll second it.
Thank you, John. All approve? All in favor? Thank you. I apologize, Becky, right now because the Friends report was listed and I received your email after, and Becky basically said in the email that there was no Friends business, but I'll give you a moment, Becky. Is there anything that you needed to update us on?
No, I think, like I said, everything's kind of on hold for us for now. So we had it was reported on the minutes from the last meeting that we met in March, but other than that, there's nothing, so.
Thank you, Becky, and I'm sorry for having it on here. We would have deleted it if we would have had that information. Next is board development, and we do have one piece of business that we wish to talk about. I mentioned it at the last meeting. Was about our accreditation is to take place this year, and I know I had talked to John about it and voiced some concern about it. But at this point, I'm also going to say that. Our CEO and her staff are, they have ideas in regards to this. So at this point, I'll ask Ellen to just share her feelings about the accreditation process and about moving forward with that during the 2021 year. So Ellen, if I could impose upon you.
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to give a little bit of background first. So through the Huron County library system, we were also working on accreditation there before I left. And part of that is reviewing all of the policies. The policies are going to have to be reviewed anyway. They're due to be reviewed. And that's a major part of the accreditation process. Sherry and I spoke quite extensively on if we could do accreditation this year or if we could ask for another deferral of it. And we think we're pretty confident that we can get this accreditation done this year without too much distraction from the regular work throughout the year.
It does require the support of the board, and on certain occasions we'll be required to do some work in terms of the accreditation as well. So what we're basically saying to the board at this point, do we want to move forward this year with the accreditation process? And we have the support of our interim CEO and her staff. So any questions or concerns regarding this process?
So Ellen, I guess from your perspective then, going through this process, that would help you familiarize yourself with the operation? Is that?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so that would be a good reason for you to want to go ahead with it then.
Leanne, did you want to add something?
Yes, I know it's a tremendous amount of work and I totally appreciate that, but I would encourage Ellen and the team, if possible, to actually work through the process. It will be a good experience. It's something to be able to head and kind of gain experience and leadership with and learning about the organization more. So if possible, I would agree if we can, go ahead, move forward and finish it, that would be great. And anything we can do as a board to help support that, I know that we'd be more than supportive in helping you do that. Thank you.
Ellen and I have also had a conversation in regards to the amount of work that it would take, and we were talking about in terms of a proportion of her work. It would be about 20% of her work week would be somewhere around that area, would be allocated to the process of getting the accreditation process, getting us through the accreditation process. Just so you're aware of that, because Ellen and I also were talking about her role is new, and she's learning all the aspects and getting to know everybody in the library, and so and to become aware of everything that's happening. So she felt it was more than a balanced amount of time to commit to the accreditation process. So any other comments or questions before we move forward?
Bernice here.
Bernice?
I know that at times with the accreditation process in the past, some of the concerns we've had are like the elevator and that sort of thing, because it's not quite up to standard. But I'm sure you can factor in the concept of the hub, which has been in the works for, I'd say, about 4 years now. So I'm sure that they will grant us some grace for some of the things that may not be quite what their expectations are, and that's so. And I'm sure that United Way would assist with that too if you need an extra person, an extra input on that point.
Thank you. Anyone other comments or questions to either Ellen or myself? Go ahead, Matt.
Thank you. I'm just wondering, I understand accreditation, but I'm just wondering, and I'm only asking this for clarity from possibly Ellen and someone a lot smarter than me. What is the actual benefit for a 20% expenditure of time to actually the end result of accreditation? Is the juice worth the squeeze for a 20% time commitment to do that for the sake of a documentation? I'm not saying that to be confrontational. I'm only asking that as, okay, we get accredited. Awesome. What happens? Is like, I'm just wondering, with the amount that you have to learn, and I don't doubt, and I'm not questioning Leanne's point about saying that there would be a great learning experience, that I do understand that, but with the tumultuous times that we currently have before us, that we don't really know what's happening, is that 20% a good expenditure of time and effort given your new role for the municipality as compared to what the end result will be?
Go ahead, Bernice.
I just want to briefly, just from a board member perspective, I think it helps us as a library board because it gives us an evaluation of the services that we do offer. We'll be coming up eventually in terms of doing a strategic plan, which I think we've worked on a number of years ago. To me, the accreditation project also improves our accountability, and we're going to have a lot of planning that's going to be needed. So as much as we're going towards accreditation, I think this process will assist us in our planning.
Thank you. Matt, did you want to?
I was only asking that I do understand that it seems to be an awful lot of work in the years past that I've heard tell of the accreditation process and everything, that I do understand it is an immense amount of work to do that. I'm just given for the times that are in now. Is the juice worth the squeeze? And as Bernice has made mention of, that if it's absolutely of benefit to do that for this year with the upcoming projects that we have, I'll totally be on board with the board decision to go ahead with that. That's not an issue. I was more or less just questioning the process in itself.
In a conversation I had with Souls, I was asking them about it, and what they suggested was it's a great indicator of any weaknesses that we have there. They show through the accreditation process and allow us then the opportunity to make changes that are necessary. They also show your strengths, and as somebody mentioned, as we move into developing a strategic plan, those strengths and weaknesses would be a great thing to have when we look at what we're building for the future. Any other questions or comments?
I just had one more comment. The policies have to be updated anyway. They're a little bit overdue for refreshing. And with the change environment in libraries and our communities, especially with vulnerable populations, they're going to have to be done anyway. So that's about a third to half of the accreditation process. So we would already kind of be there, although I'll need everyone's cooperation because your next few packages might be heavy policy approvals, because we will be going through all of them.
Thank you, Ellen. Any other questions or comments? If we wish to move forward, we'll need a motion to go forward with the accreditation process. So Bernice moves that we move forward with the accreditation process in 2021. I need a seconder. Don't all put your hands up at the same time. I'm just looking. Thank you, Leanne. So all approve? Thank you. And just to let you know, Ellen, I think you have the support of this board. So as you need to come to us, we'll be here to work with you on that.
Thank you.
And that ends board development. We have a number of library updates, and at this time I turn it over to Ellen. And Ellen, I'm going to ask that you begin at 9.1, the COVID update.
Thanks, Chair. So 9.1 is that COVID update. Your last meeting was on your official meeting, I guess, not the in-camera one, was March 9th. And in between March 9th and this meeting, we have had that provincial lockdown stay-at-home order. So library services have just gone back to the curbside service, and staff continued to help people book their COVID appointments for their vaccinations as well. So we're just waiting to hear what the government says. We're probably anticipating a further lockdown, or at least till June, and we're prepared to continue on with our service or adjust as need be that way. And I'll move on to 9.2, the Moncton Branch update. Last month, Sherry had reported that the floors in Moncton had to be refinished. And so the branch was closed on March 25th, and they were redone. And the library floors look great now, and that won't hopefully interrupt any more service that way. There's a few touch-ups just from putting up drop sheets, but the facilities over there are all over that piece. I want to make sure I mention that the grant that Sherry had applied to, the Trillium Mutual Foundation grant, came through, and we were able to purchase and install an AED device for that Moncton facility. It's already up. And I just wanted to make sure that Sherry was credited with that grant and that piece of important equipment. And that grant was done also in partnership with that daycare center. So that would be the Moncton Branch update. I don't know if there's any questions there.
I had one. Are we going to, when you install the AED equipment, they usually provide training. Are they providing training for all our staff? It usually comes with the service contract of the equipment. Do you know of that?
I know there was conversation about it. I know a lot of that training has been put on pause,
okay,
because people can't gather in place too, but I will definitely double check the training piece. I know we were discussing it.
It is a great thing. As a matter of fact, I had them come up and put all St. Paul's Lutheran Church, everybody in the church through the training one day, because we've installed it at St. Paul's. So it's quick, it's 30 minutes, but it's worth it for the benefit of staff and even our board.
Great.
Thank you.
I'll definitely follow up. If there's no more questions, I'll go on to the Listwell staff update here. I just wanted to update the board that we have hired a new staff member, Melissa Dunphy, to replace Andrew as he's seconded. I think he's cutting grass in the cemeteries all summer. And we've also hired a summer student who's yet to start, as we anticipate to pursue some summer reading programming. And we've been successful, and she's accepted the position. So we're going to delve into what that looks like this summer with possible closures. Is there any questions there? No. So I'll jump to the van update. I had reached out, but I hadn't heard a proper update. We have been told mid to late May that we are going to get our van back. And hopefully we're still on time on that timeline. I haven't heard otherwise yet.
Any questions for Ellen in regards to any of those topics? Thanks, Ellen. And I also wanted to thank Ellen. Ellen and I have continued to meet regularly each week, and it's great to have the opportunity to work with you. And as well with the board, I'm continuing to try to keep you informed of any changes or decisions that are happening. I wanted to make a comment, and because we're on YouTube, I'm going to be very careful about what I say. I have developed a contact list of all your names and emails. I did not have permission to share it with each other, but if you're comfortable with that, I will send it out to each of you, so you have all the phone numbers and contacts of all the board and Ellen as well. So I finished that, and I would like to send it to you because I'm often in touch with before the agenda comes out to ask you if you have any questions about it. So if you have any concerns or if you don't wish to be on that contact list, please email me and I'll make sure your name is taken off of it. Other business. We're moving to, in the past, the chair has sat on the hub committee, and I suffer from a conflict. I not suffer. I have a conflict of interest with the hub. Another member of my family sits on the hub committee, and it would appear improper for both of us to have a vote on the hub committee. I have stated that I would love to be an observer. I will attend meetings, but in terms of a representative vote from the library board, I think it should be another member. And I've talked to a couple of people about this, and at this time, the library board member on the hub, because we contribute to the hub, we've contributed financially in both years in terms of the architectural planning part of it. I do believe we do need a representative that has a voice, that has a vote, that can bring information to them and bring it back to us as well. So at this point, I'm turning it over to Bernice, because Bernice brought this to our attention. And I think she has some valid points here. Bernice.
Yeah, I think it's important for us to have someone that's able to be aware of what's been happening at the library. Also, I actually am sitting on the hub committee with the United Way, so I have an extensive background with it and a long history with the library. So I just think it would be ideal to have someone who that is their primary focus, because in the past, yes, I have sat on it as a chair, but the chair is busy. As Terrence has mentioned to me, there is a bit of work involved with being chair of the library board, plus the hub is going to only get busier, or I'm hoping it'll get busier. So, and I would be keen to put my name forward for that in that time, for that position.
That's excellent. Is there anyone else that feels a dying urge to sit on? Oh, I'm sorry, Matt, go ahead.
I was just going to make a recommendation that I would highly recommend Bernice and fully nominate her to sit on as the hub representative.
Great. Yeah, that's great. Do we have somebody second that?
I will. Second.
Oh, good. So everybody approve? Terrific. You've just assumed the role there, Bernice, of our new hub representative for the library board. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Along the same information, I will update you on one thing. We found out that the email that was sent to the Ontario Library Association appointing Becky as our representative was never received. They did receive it because they deleted me, but they didn't add Becky. So as of yesterday, Becky is the official rep, as we had passed the motion in January. So I just thought I'd mention that to everyone. At this time, I'm going to ask that we present a motion to go in camera for a few minutes. So I need somebody to indicate that we are going to go into camera, and a seconder, please. Thank you, Bernice, and John seconds. And so I'll ask Simon to send us in camera for a moment. Nicole, you'll let us know.
Just as an aside, being optimistic, do you think we may actually meet in person in September?
Touch wood, I hope so. Hopefully, we'll all have 2 vaccinations by then.
Yeah.
And you might have brought up another discussion item for the future, Bernice. Are we, with our new CEO in place, would we like to meet at the library on an occasion as well? You know, we've been meeting at the town hall in their facility, but we've never talked about where we wish to return to. So that might be something at the next meeting we could discuss.
Just to let you know, Terrence, that there may be some issues with that because of the tech. Because it's now streaming most of our meetings on YouTube, you may need to continue meeting in the municipal office just because of the tech piece. Just a
The
thought.
simplicity of, yeah, you're right. Are we in camera now?
We're
No.
still live on
Okay.
YouTube.
Okay, well, that's fine.
I would love at some point, though, to see Alan's observations of the facility. And, you know, because as I've said, I've been in on the library board for so long. I mean, and I took my children there. So I hate to say that, that's 23 years ago that I started that. Oh, no, 20. But it would be great just to see the library through fresh eyes and see what your input or thoughts are as well at some point.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
It'll be nice when we can all get together, our meet and greet over crossed there, Matt.
We're good to go again.
Oh, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to come to our adjournment tonight. Our meeting will be ending at 7:59, and our next scheduled meeting will be for Tuesday, June 8th. Location to be and format to be determined as we move forward. I will mention this, that Ellen has asked if she needs another meeting to become just for her own comfort level during the summer. Is that a possibility? And I've expressed to her that we can call a meeting at any time if it is necessary. So just to let you know, that information has been shared. So I need a motion to adjourn our meeting this evening. And thank you, Matt. A seconder, please. Bernice, all in favor of ending it? We adjourn our meeting. Thank you for attending tonight. It was a good meeting.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
So,
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your week.
Take care. Thank you, Nicole, and thank you, Simon. I appreciate your help.